Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of your 5-Minute AI Fix with yours truly, Ryan Bearden. And if you have followed these videos of mine over the last few months, you notice that I spend a lot of time talking about the importance of prompting, as well as the appropriate level of context within your prompts. But what if you didn't need to prompt at all? What if you could just give the AI your goal or give it an objective? Well, that's exactly what the vision is behind this idea of AI agents, which I'm sure you've heard tons and tons about. And more specifically, ChatGPT's new function of agent mode. And one way to think about this is instead of having a super smart intern or an assistant, you actually have a strategic partner. Right? Instead of telling AI, giving it step-by-step instructions and it waiting for your step-by-step instructions before it goes off and does the work, what if you just give it a goal and it goes and figures out the rest? It figures out the plan of how it's going to do it. And that's exactly what this tool is going to do. You're going to give it a goal, give it an objective, and it's going to break the task down into each of the steps. It's going to choose the right tools that it needs to go do this. And it's going to show the reasoning along the way, the whole way. And I'm going to show you right now a quick example of this. So let me pull up my handy dandy ChatGPT here. And what you'll notice is I have started my prompt. And in this particular example, what I did is I'm running an analysis of the real estate market in my area. I'm not really looking to sell my home, but it's a great example. And so what I told it here is I'm trying to get an understanding of the market right now and determine if now is a good time to consider putting my home on the market. And so what I'm going to do is I am going to go down here to my tools section and I'm going to choose agent mode. You'll see there. So I'm going to click on agent mode. And then here I showed you my objective here. I put a little bit more information here. I want to see things over the last 6 months. I'm going to see home sale trends, all these other things going on. So I'm going to hit go on this. And what you're going to notice, it's setting up the desktop. And don't worry, I'm not going to make you watch this whole thing because it usually works for about 10 or 12 minutes or so. But it's telling me it's understood what it's going to start doing. It understands the task, what I'm asking it. And now it's literally showing how it's going through and looking at everything. It's telling you what sites it's going to, what data it's finding. Even if it runs into issues or obstacles, it's going to tell you that I've run into issues or obstacles, and now I'm going to take a different route to go. So really neat how it shows you this step-by-step reasoning that's going on here. Again, like I said, I'm not going to show you this whole thing, but I wanted to give you a little taste of it. But I did run this previously, and so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to show you the output that it gave, because when I ran this the first time, I asked it to give me a presentation. And so just very quickly here, we are going to look at this. It even put this pretty little graphic here by the lake. So rough hollow housing analysis. Here's the market overview. It's given the median sold price and my zip code, the lakeway, the neighborhood, or excuse me, the community I live in, the median sold price. And it's giving me these handy dandy charts to look at it. 78% houses sold were under asking price, 9% over. And it gives me active listings using longitude and latitude and where the clusters are compared to where my home is. It's now giving me home value comparisons. Here's mine, here's the median listing, the Lakeway median listing, and then the sold and my zip code and sold in Lakeway. So it's giving you some pretty good high-level analysis here. Market trends and dynamics, how long are they on the market for? 41% were under 30 days, but 38% over 90 days, right? And then finally it gives you conclusions and recommendations. So it did a very good job of taking a very little bit of information that I have, just who I am, kind of my address, and by that I mean my address and my neighborhood and zip code. But then I just ask it for one particular goal. I'm trying to decide this, and this is the information that it gave. Pretty cool stuff, right? Again, very beginning, very new. And you might be asking yourselves, okay, this is great. So why does this matter for business? How would businesses use this? And so here's some use cases. I've actually done these with a few of my clients of how you can apply this to your actual work. Competitive research reports. I did one of these just this morning to really look at how do we stack up against the competition when it comes to positioning and messaging and what industries and markets we're going after and where we win. Automated workflows. It can literally not just go pull that data, but it's going to clean it and summarize it. You just saw an example of it doing that there. It can also be a great way to build internal tools like dashboards or even calculators. And then finally, multi-part tasks like creating a doc, summarizing, and even emailing it. Now, Let's be honest, this is the first iteration of this tool. And while it is pretty cool and actually has a great deal of value, there's also some cautions that I would say. For me personally, I'm not quite ready to give it the keys to the kingdom. So, what do I mean by that? So, if I wanted to go out and make dinner reservations for me, and then for me and my wife, and then to go put a date night on her calendar, well, it has to have access to her calendar. Or if it sends an invite, it has to have access to my calendar. And again, this being so new and it's in infant stages, I'm not quite ready to do that just yet. But there are plenty of other opportunities that we can test this technology and functionality without necessarily giving it the keys to said kingdom. So again, what do we know about AI so far and working with it is that the first iteration is nowhere near as good as the second, third, fourth, and fifth, but it is good to start experimenting with it, start playing with it, because it unlocks your mind to what could be as it begins to mature, as the technology begins to mature, as we know more about its security and privacy and vulnerabilities. So anyway, I hope you found this helpful. If you're looking for ways to stay connected with me, you can go to my website. I send out a newsletter a couple times a month. You could go to beardmarketing.com/subscribe and subscribe there. You're going to get demonstrations, tips and tricks, a handy dandy prompt that you can use right away, and even what's going on in the news. If you're watching this, you're likely watching it on my YouTube channel, so just subscribe to there and you'll get up to date each time I post a new video. You'll be notified. Or if you want to just learn more about what I do and how I'm helping companies and teams become more AI fluent, shoot me an email, ryan@beardmarketing.com. Would love to connect with you. Again, thank you so much for watching. Tune in next time where I'm going to be going over another great new feature of ChatGPT. That's the study and learn feature. So stay tuned and I will see you next time. Take care.